Welcome to Stretford, Paddock, and welcome to the Brew. Of course, my name is Joe McGrath, sitting in for Joe Smith today. The wonderful...
Or even Jay Motti.
Or even Jay Motti.
Because it is the Brew.
Yeah, it is the Brew. Yeah, but Joe Smith's on
Don't come on here and start
He's
giving
an arse already.
intros. It's the Brew. Shut the fuck up.
I said, who wants
Let's
to say
crack
hello?
on.
And you said, go on then, Joe.
Yeah,
say hello.
Say hello. Don't give it the
Hi,
fucking
I'm
Oscar
Joe.
speech.
Thank you for having me. It's been great to be here. Jamie Jackson's here as well.
Right,
I've been reading your comments.
Before we get started, just everyone spam the chat with goodbye Ethan, because he's absolutely dropped every bollock he could get his hand on this morning, this afternoon, and he's going to get an impromptu review at about 5 p.m. today.
He's got to go, he's got to train.
And if anyone's got any work going, just let us know in the chat and we'll send it his way.
How are you anyway?
Yeah, sound, how are you?
You wanted to start off by not talking about modern football, but talking about 99.
No, this is what I always want to do. This is the Brew, and this is the home of Remember When We Were Mint.
Yeah. So go for it.
So Jamie, you was talking a little bit on 99, so...
Yeah, I've watched all 3 episodes. Very good watch. Again, you're reminded by how brilliant that team was and how, let's say, average.
Pants on or off when you was watching it?
On, of course.
Do you get to say that's work?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is work, isn't it?
yeah.
But watching a great TV show.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's class.
Yeah.
Because you get to say that as well.
Right, I do, yeah.
The missus would just
With
tell
my
me
feet
off.
up this morning watching it.
Really? Yeah, this is work. I've got
It's on Netflix now, isn't it? Right? It's available.
Amazon.
Sorry, Amazon. It's good. What were you just saying then about the team selection? It's quite interesting what you were saying.
Yeah, so for me, it feels like they just made Matt Dickinson's 99, brilliant 99 book, by the way, a video.
Yeah.
In 3 parts.
Yeah.
The flow of it is the same.
Yeah.
You know, it starts and harks back to Cantona and obviously heavy on what happened in the summer of '98 with Beckham.
Yeah.
And it reveals the things the book reveals, like Fergie resigning. That wasn't public knowledge, was it?
Not before the book, no.
So what was that then?
I think him and Martin Edwards had a bit of a fallout about... Martin Edwards prodded him a little bit to see if you still got the fight after Arsenal have won a double and this, that and the other, and Fergie, being Fergie, went, well, fuck you then, I'll quit.
that actually was probably one of the most interesting things I found, because I was surprised that Martin Edwards had the chutzpah to question him. I mean, because he'd won the first title in '93 for all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. I know, but it's like,
where's your head at?
Yeah.
Fucking question me.
Seemed a bit presumptuous, a bit previous, because he'd done very, very well. But no, it's a good watch. Watch.
Well, my question was, do you learn anything new that you maybe sort of average fan who maybe just watched the clips and heard the interviews? Do you see anything new in that?
If you've not read the book,
yeah, I think McLaren comes across quite good actually. He's quite funny.
But that's his role, isn't it? Is nice guy
But what I mean is he I didn't really know what he was like as a person. You can see his personality a little bit. He's got a sense of humour. He's quite funny about some of the stuff about the team selection when he was suggesting for the final. I don't want to give it away if people haven't seen it. What he sort of said,
we win.
Jamie, 25 fucking years ago. It's on them at Keep Up, not us to fucking to roadblock what happened. Yeah, so obviously Fergie probably showing a little bit of a weakness in his own sort of sentimentality. Maybe he's that this lad who's been left out, and you do feel sorry for Blomqvist throughout it. He's not quite worked for him.
Yeah.
He was good, Blomqvist, that season, but he obviously just wasn't Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, sure.
And while he's been good, Fergie's, I don't know, he probably just caught his eye at the wrong time or something, didn't he? And he's like, you're starting in the final. So then obviously Steve McLaren's like, right then, so where the fuck is Ryan Giggs playing? And what's Beckham doing?
Sure.
And then he tells him obviously what we went with, and he's like,
Yeah, it's quite dry.
How things could have been. Bit different. Yeah, go and watch that. I'll go watch that this weekend.
We were shit. Don't you dare move us on from this.
Well, I'll watch that this weekend, I said.
Right, well,
I'm just telling people when I'm going to watch it.
It felt like a wrapping it up and moving on to the next topic.
I was wrapping it up. I've got to be steadying the ship today.
No,
you steady the ship then? I'm going to be Howson.
Do you think I want the ship steady?
I fucking Stretford, Paddock.
I live in the fucking waves.
You live in the waves. What are you talking about?
I want a steady ship. Steady ships are boring.
Just because you've been on the red carpet.
Lash me to the fucking.
Tell your red carpet story.
Did they have canapes?
We took it last week.
Oh, right, fair enough.
The after party that I went to, they did.
Oh, where was the after party?
I missed out on David Beckham.
What? Why?
Because I went home. So I go there. I've already told this story, so everyone here knows it. So it's literally just for you two now.
Sorry.
I walk into. When I got my tickets, because I had to do the red carpet stuff on camera. I was in a different cinema to McCullough and Jay and Joe, which McCullough was not happy about, by the way. And then when we were finished, my ticket had a yellow card with it, and it said, show this to a steward. So obviously I booked him. Because I'm pretty sure
Height of humour.
That's the idea.
I would have probably done the same.
Definitely wasn't 48 people doing that to him, was there? And he went, yeah, just go through that. So as you're leaving, if you had a yellow card, you could go...
So how come you got that and McCullough didn't, for example? What's the difference?
Jamie, I have no idea. I have and there's the video on Amazon's
Politics.
I have no idea what I added to it, right? Like, you've just got fucking Beckham and Neville and Schmeichel and Blomqvist and York and Cole and Nicky Butt and Teddy Sheringham.
Drop their names.
And then me at the end of it, and I'm like, I don't know what value I'm bringing
Your
to this.
charisma, your persona.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, don't do yourself down.
I just don't know what it was about. But either way, so I get the thing. I go into the after party at the end, and I walk in, and I go, fucking hell, like Jordi Cruyff's there. And I do want to chat to Jordi Cruyff. Big fan of his old man. Actually, he was good at United as well. He just wasn't on the same level as Scholes and Giggs and Nicky Butts at the bar, York and Kohler in there. It's literally just the players and the production. And I was like, oh shit.
That's wild.
Hung around for half an hour. Not really talking to anyone. So I'm like, I'm going to go home. Because I'm thinking... What I didn't know was happening at the time is that Neville and Beckham were doing a Q&A in the other cinema.
Ah, right.
So I'm thinking, well, Gary Neville's gone home because he's an early riser, isn't he? And David Beckham's not coming in walkabout.
Walkabout. Is that what it was? He walked.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So I'm thinking...
Print works.
So I think that's a pretty safe presumption, don't you?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I mean? Let's be honest. Is this on the top list of places Beckham's going to end up in? Probably not. So I'll go, nah, do you know what? I'm going to go home. And I was texting Baggers on the way home. And I literally said, Beckham's not going on a walkabout, is this? So I'm getting off.
Yeah.
And then he said, about 5 minutes after, he sends me a photograph of Beckham stood where I was stood by the bar. And I was like, fuck.
That's a nightmare. What do you think the greatest doc is about United? Out of all the TV and film ones,
I've not seen those, to be honest.
Have you got a favourite?
I quite like the Ferguson one. Quite like that.
Ferguson one,
quite recently one.
Rooney's got his own one.
I've not seen that.
Rooney's isn't good, and Joey Wells isn't good as well. It does not do him justice. Is Robbo's.
Right.
Robbo's is not anywhere near as good as it could have been. It feels like it was like someone went, oh, should we get a Robbo documentary out? And then they did it in a fortnight. Like, it doesn't feel...
Right.
Robbo's stories are like... It's fucking Robbo, isn't it? Like, The documentary is...
Does Brian Robson get an all-time United team?
That's a great question.
My granddad's got a theory on this, which I'm going to have to just steal. Which is Manchester United have got too many good players.
Yeah.
And every single greatest 11 that you can come up with, there's 20 players miss out on it that do not deserve to miss out. Because
That's the fun, though, isn't it? That's the fun, try to pick it.
So he says you've got to do it by decade. And that's the only one he'll accept, is by decade.
So, okay. But
which is a cop-out.
Yeah.
You did the last decade, though.
But I think that's the only fair way. Because how do you have a midfield, right? You just go on, what's your, as a neutral, what's your United all-time midfield?
Well, I'd have Keane in there. Yeah. Crumbs.
You brought this on yourself.
I think Giggs on the left. I mean, I don't know really. It's difficult. You put me on the spot.
Just throw it out there, and I'll just throw the names that you're leaving out by what you choose.
Charlton. Yeah,
that is because then you go best, and then you go Ronaldo, and then you think about where you play.
That's four there. The top two have got to be George Best and Rooney ahead of Ronaldo. So I'm considering that I've left out Ronaldo, and then I don't know the keeper.
Robbo, Scholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but that's why I asked about Robson, because Styles, he's obviously in that as well, isn't he?
European Cup winner and European Cup winner, World Cup winner. Like, not many of them kicking around.
No. Do you think?
And you're leaving him out your all-time 11. Right.
I'd watch
We haven't mentioned Dennis Law, have we?
No. I'd watch it sort of.
So strikers, Eric, for me, because he made me love it. But was he the best striker we ever had? Not really. Where's Rude go? What about Cole? What about York?
Rooney.
What about Tommy Taylor? What about Dennis Law? You know what I mean? You can't really correctly do one. You got to do it by eras.
Do you reckon that doubles team in 2008 deserve a little documentary about him? I know it. Obviously, give it time. Give it time.
Give it 25
I'd watch that.
Do you know what made the
99's been. I love it. I'll go and watch it. But I'd like later Fergie years a little bit.
The Last Dance was so good because it came out 18, 19 years after, and they had days worth of footage.
Yeah.
Obviously made 8 hours worth of content out of it, and I think that's a good way to do it. And obviously it spans across like a handful of seasons, isn't it? And then focuses. They could have done that if Fergie retired then, or Schmeichel retiring wasn't really the end of that team, because obviously we won 2 more titles following that. So there wasn't really an inflection point in that season, apart from the fact we won everything, where you can go, like if say Keane and Schmeichel and like handful of and Fergie maybe walked out after that, you'd go, we do a doc on the previous 6 years of but I don't think you can when it's so. I think it's fair just doing it on that one season. But yeah, there's not many, really. For a club like Manchester United, there's not many. Like, there's some phenomenal books. Like The Greatest by James Layton's a sensational book about Duncan Edwards.
Right, okay.
And you think,
that go then, that sounds good.
Could someone make that a documentary?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But then you go, you kind of need the archive footage. Does it exist from 1956 and 55 and that of him? So then you go, Robbo should have been a better one. People could have done a better job with Robbo, I think. I think it's really well shot, the 99 one. Yeah. Really well shot.
It's slick with it. It's Beckham's production company, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not bad, is it? Yeah. But I got an issue with that. There's no Roy Keane in it.
Well, I know. They obviously didn't agree to speak, did they? Yeah. It's as simple as that. I mean, I actually asked them that. I actually thought it'd be a story if I could get something, but they wouldn't let.
And why do you think he didn't want to?
Well,
I think this, from what I can read on the grapevine, it's either him or the gaffer that was going to be in it.
Yeah. Tell you what I noticed, right?
Still that sort of.
Did you notice this, Steve? Right. So Ferguson's in it, being filmed, on that window, talking. But when it comes to the final, the Champions League final, there's nothing from him about the actual final. So he talks about the season, whatever. This, that, when it comes to arguably the greatest night in the club's history, there's no.
There is more Phil Neville than Fergie in it.
Yeah, a bit odd that.
And why is that?
I don't know.
Was that
because Phil Neville was the real power behind Fergie.
The power behind the crown, really. Like the little finger or whatever it's called.
And that's another one I mentioned, the Beckham doc. I was hooked for that.
That's good.
That was good. That was good. Yeah. And they obviously saw that and thought, do another one of them.
Yeah, just keep going and going and going.
But then you think, Beckham's story is Hollywood, though. Yeah. From everything that happened in '98 to the treble, when he was the best player in the world, and then obviously he went to America and did something even Pele couldn't do, which is like making MLS kind of stick. And then he's obviously played for PSG, AC Milan, Real Madrid. Like, his story is worth telling. Like, not everyone deserves a documentary.
No.
Us three do, certainly.
Yeah. Who would you give another documentary to?
Player-wise,
but say
Eric.
Yeah.
No one else is interesting as Eric. What?
Keane.
What?
Keane.
Greatest. Call it the greatest captain.
Cleberson.
Yeah. Cleberson.
There's some things about Cleberson that they're meant to do anyway.
We'll move on. Right, we've got a final game of the season coming up.
Shut the fuck up, Joe. We're reminiscing.
It's all about final game of the season. This is here, final game of the season.
Cantona, Keane.
Well, we've done Rooney. I guess Ronaldo gets a massive
gigs.
Documentary soon.
The ending's going to be funky, innit?
Oof, Christ.
He's your most appearance player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, and it was a shame he wasn't at the thing, and I think that was deliberate to not cause a shit show from him.
Is that right? I didn't realise he wasn't there.
He's still not in the Hall of Fame for the Premier League.
That's crazy.
John Terry is. Don't ask about that. Don't worry about that. Anti-racism, but he's in there. Don't worry about it.
Are you going to allow me to do a read from our wonderful sponsors now? Is that all right? Can I do that? Because is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it is not. It's a revolutionary ball trimmer. Go with us on this, Jamie. I promise you, you will want to hear, or you'll want this product after I've let you know just how good it is. Gentlemen, our friends over at Manscaped have been working day and night to bring you...
Day and night?
Day and night. They've not slept.
What's the labour laws in wherever these are based?
I actually don't know. Let's move on. They're going to bring us the brand new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra featuring the Lawnmower 5.0. We're talking next generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever you want to shave, Jamie.
Like a toddler?
No, don't shave your toddlers. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultrasphere this year by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code
Howson,
well done, Howson.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I can tell you everything you need to know. These guys are the best.
I didn't know.
Do you?
Yeah.
With them? I mean, you have to say yes.
I mean, yeah.
You can do it in the dark.
Yeah, I don't do it in the dark though, because I think Jay does it. Does it in the dark, but it's strange.
What you get is you get the Ultra Lumo 5.0, which I've already talked about. You get
Manscaped though. Can we do something for me back? I got a back like a half a fucking gorilla, man.
Same here. Let me see your back a little bit. What about that? I had a Turkish man shave me once. He called a friend. Crazy. Oh, crikey, I've got to do this. Also, you've got, on your brilliant Manscaped device, you've got dual LED spotlights to provide the contrast of the multiple skin tones that you've got. You've also got in this package the Weed Whacker 2.0, featuring skin-safe technology, which helps prevent those little nicks and little bits that gets in your skin. Also, you've got the ball deodorant, you've got the boxers, you've got the travel bag. You should get it right now. Manscaped.com. Use the code Howson to get 20% off and free shipping. Thank you, everyone.
What's the comment saying?
Comments saying.
Who do they think for a
they basically said, Joe, please stop talking over Howson, and I've apologised. Also, we've got gigs would be on Netflix, says Liam. Heading down to another one, Lee Martin after FA Cup win.
Is that Notch?
Someone says, Miles says, let Joe near your jewels, Jamie. Don't know what that means. Sorry about that, Jamie. I shouldn't have read that out. Also,
what was that?
Has there been a good George Best one? Because he's got a great. There's a handful of books about
George Best one. But that sort of archive interview.
What are you calling it?
You'd need
shagging.
Somebody's like Simply the Best or something like that. You can't just call it shagging. Coming to the cinemas near you, shagging.
What's he known for?
Probably football.
I think it's shagging, to be honest.
Really? First?
Yeah.
First?
He retired from football at 26. He didn't retire from shagging at 26.
That's true. Is there any good keepers that would do it? Would you do Schmeichel?
I just fucking don't like him.
Really?
Yeah. After he went to City.
Would you watch? Yeah.
I know Andy Cole went to see him. I like Andy Cole, so... It was different.
Was he at City, Carl? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was he?
In the Reebok era. In the era where they had do you know why you don't know? Because no one else knows. Because no one was there.
Yeah.
Right, before they got the takeover.
Right. Okay.
I got a super chat from Amia. It says, Steve, you said you'll cuddle Ollie. Did you do it?
He wasn't there.
Was he not?
No. Bit of a blow on it.
Everyone, Ollie. That'd be a good subject.
There's a doc.
There's a good biography of him written by someone sat at this table.
The Red Apprentice.
Wasn't bloody me.
Was it you?
Don't know we knew I got a book about him.
Yeah, what's the book called again?
The Red Apprentice.
Oh, I like that. Did you read
Hindsight's 2020.
It came up yesterday in a conversation with someone, and they were saying, how did you end it? And I couldn't remember how. I had to look up my own book to see what the last sentence
How'd you end
was.
I don't know.
Forgot it about 3 years ago. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Right, okay.
I love this. This is from Peter Kelly, who's been a member of the Academy for 46 months. In '99, there's a clip of Fergie ending an interview when asked about Keane's red card, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember which game that was in.
The red for Keane.
Was it the red?
Yeah, it says.
Was it a red? Was it not? It just got off. The lads are talking about it booting off in one of the games.
Oh, what has Jamie got a ban from Fergie for, and how many?
Do you know what? This is the one thing the only thing I'm ashamed of in my whole life. Never mind my is I never got banned by Ferguson because I'd like to think I was only there for a season and a half, halfway through the Mancini title win, and then the last ever one he ever did. So I didn't have time to.
Did we get a bollocking?
No. To be honest, I also was lucky enough, right? So we did this thing in the Guardian at the end of the year where sports people who passed away that year, and. One of them was, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was Ferguson's hero as a kid, growing up, and he agreed to be interviewed with me, which is unheard of whenever it was, I don't know, 2013, 12. So I actually had some proper time with the great man talking about that. But no, I never got a ban.
You've got a ban if you were in there, wouldn't you?
No.
Do you think?
No,
you'd have got
if I'm in press conferences and I have offered my services to the club to do this. They have yet not reciprocated.
This will be good.
Because Jamie knows he's there in all of them. There's some shit questions asked, isn't there?
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and slag off my colleagues. I think there's a lot of good questions.
It's a great question.
All right, 50% of the questions are really good. Would you agree?
Yeah. I'd say most of them are really good.
But there's some absolute.
Try again. Go on.
There's some absolute sausages that are asking questions.
What would you say? So if I'm in the situation now,
so it's normally like, are United going to sign Mbappe? One of them. Just so you throw it out there.
Just on Mbappe. Do you think he'll be coming in the summer?
You're not going to answer that question. Shut the fuck up.
live on Sky Sports, just Howson heckling from the back.
The Howson hammer.
The Howson
Shut
hammer.
The fuck up, Joe. No, we're not asking that.
So what's your view of because you know my squeaky bum went viral earlier this week. Was that a good question of Pep?
Yeah. But I think he's an absolute fucking bell, and I think that's not what I asked. I think he comes across, or he tries to come across as charming. I think he absolutely misses the boat, and it's Klopp. Everyone's like, "Oh, ain't Klopp lovely?" No, he's a fucking bell. He absolutely is so fucking rude to some of the journalists.
If Klopp managed Manchester United, I'll tell you what. Here's one for you. So if I know it's a big if, but let's just if you know he was to go to United this summer, would you have him?
What? For the piss boiling, probably. But
no, but come on, he's a good manager, right?
Yeah, I think he is a good manager.
So then you get behind him. So it's tribal, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. But he won't, and therefore it don't matter. But yeah, I spoke to Andrew Ward. I said, "Listen, do you want me at the back and just like shutting people up?"
What did he say?
He said, "Let's have a talk."
Are you on tour? Are you going on the tour? Because if so, that you can maybe. Have a dry run out there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've been in the press conferences on tour, and
you've admired my work, haven't you? Come on.
It was I spoke to Ten Hag. Me and McCullough spoke to Ten Hag because we were strategically staying at the team hotel.
Good move, I like it.
Got.
Yeah.
So he must have seen me with my hand up like that for 40 minutes and get ignored, while 3 people asked him how he's enjoying San Diego. So the first person asked him how was he enjoying San Diego, and he goes, "We're training and I've not seen any of it." He goes, "All right, no worries." 5 minutes later, someone else goes, "Hey, how are you enjoying San Diego?" And he's like, "Yeah, I haven't seen it, been training." Yeah. And then they get the guys on Zoom, and one of them goes, "Hey, so are you enjoying San Diego?" I'm like, "Come on!" And a real tactical question. So then I seen him, and he goes, "Oh, I've seen you at the press conference." And I said, "Yeah, I was trying to ask a question." He goes, "Oh, what was the question?" So it was about playing out. Yeah, it was about playing out. I just wanted to know if he was enjoying San Diego. It was. I asked. It was a question about shape and patterns in terms of playing out, and then he answered it. We had a conversation about it.
That's class.
Nice guy, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but like for me, maybe it's because of I try and coach that I want to know them things from a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than the fucking nonsense that
can I ask? What would you ask him now if you bumped into him? So same situation. You got it by yourself. We're in this like it's Friday. What would you say? Not Friday. So, you got a week. I'm saying you got a game ahead, and then you got the FA Cup final. What would you ask him today?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
What are you doing today?
Let's get Madrid.
Fucking hell.
Let's get Madrid sitting in the sun.
Are you coming to Yates's?
You're coming to.
I would ask him. See, on camera and off camera, I think you get 2 different answers to this. I think on camera, I think he lies to you. I think off camera, you might get a true answer, maybe. Because I want to know how he really feels about the amount of shots we're conceding. Yeah. And if he might go, yeah, but we've worked out we're actually conceding really low XG shots, and people are shooting from range.
Yeah, so that's all right.
So actually not overly asked. If you look at the XG conceded, it's actually not that bad in the grand scheme of things. The number of shots is horrendous, but the XG of the shots isn't terrible.
I understand, yeah.
So you're like, have you deliberately how do you make the opposition shoot? Fucking Jedi mind trick them into shooting in bad positions? Or is it just like that's a consequence that we're trying to work out ourselves still? Because there's enough analysts at United. I know they know what's going on. I want to know which bits are deliberate, which bits are accidental. When he talks about the way the team are playing, that fucking hole in the centre of the pitch, we've seen it just clogged up with Amrabat getting in there. So is that personnel? Is that tic-tacs?
Can I just say this to you, right? Because you say Amrabat, that's what he's done the last couple of games. Right? He's not been perfect. He's given the ball away a couple of times, not rested, but he got back.
It's actually, but do you know what? Eye test he has. Stats wise, he fucking hasn't.
Right. Okay. So, but what I was going to say was, for me, this proves that he should be given more time to now, because suddenly you've got a player not out of nowhere, but who's come back into the team. You know, his last start before the Arsenal game was December, I think, in the league, and you can see the difference it makes. Wait a minute. So it's not that he can't coach, or he's just lacked the play. It just seems obvious to me, and he's a really massive example of it. That he should be given more time. I really hope. I'd be really interested to see if he does get more time, what happens this summer, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe has done really well so far, but now is the time, right?
He's really talking the talk.
Yeah, now is the time. This market coming up, this summer, can you actually really help the manager out? He's not had before. Let's see what will happen, because it's an obvious thing to say, but he didn't have a bad first season, did he?
No,
he's not become useless overnight.
You can't ignore this season, but that means that you can't ignore last season. And I think there was good in both, and there was bad in both. In the first season, the away form was unfathomable.
Yeah.
It's improved a little bit this season, but also the general form has been unfathomable. So you go, okay, the fact that Sir Jim's come out and said there ain't any manager that would succeed in this system, and the way Ten Hag's talking, he's talking like a crazy person if he's already been told he's getting a bullet, because he's acting.
I don't think he has at all.
Yeah, but he's acting like he knows he's here.
Yeah.
So he would look really nuts if he gets the bullet on Sunday.
Do you think the FA Cup does sway what happens?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it's very difficult, even more difficult for that, because I think they are genuine. Like how we're not too sure.
Yeah.
I think they're the same. Why would they be any different? You know what I mean? This is Ratcliffe, Wilcox, Brailsford, John Claude Blanc, etc., etc. So I think if they win if United win the FA Cup, I'd be staggered if they, give him the bullet. I mean, it's football, you just don't know. And I think even if you lose 5-0, then it's blah blah blah. But I just feel like, because Tuchel's interesting, right? So Tuchel's obviously, he said today he's definitely leaving Bayern Munich, right? So if you actually, we all know it, if you actually look at where he's been, PSG, Chelsea, Bayern, he's won a Champions League, he's lost another final with PSG, I think, I can't remember who it was, Real maybe. He won the league last year in Germany. You almost think that's a no-brainer, but I think they're still not completely sure about his sort of personality.
Yeah, he does seem like he falls out with people, but he's also been at clubs full of bells. So I think that there's something in that as well.
I mean, what do you two think? You're the fans. Would you like him there? Would you have him?
What's your opinion on Tuchel?
If the fucking choice is Tuchel or Gareth Southgate,
what if the choice is
Tuchel or Ten Hag? Yeah.
What about if it's...
I'd go with the devil we know.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's such an obvious... I think
I would as well, to be honest.
The only one that I would go, go on then, and it's based on a one-season potential wonder, it is Alonso.
Yeah.
Outside of him, I don't think anyone would get me excited.
Interesting.
Unless we've actually cryogenically re-engineered Sir Alex Ferguson. He's 36 and he's ready to go again. And
I've got news for you. He's outside and he's 37.
Up, baby.
He's waiting to
I've
meet
seen
you.
Terminator. Let's do it. If we could do that, I'm in. Otherwise,
I like it.
Do you know when the Guardian does that story about United pondering the move for McKenna in Ten Hag? What starts that story? Do you do murmurings around McKenna? Do you see if anyone's
what an interesting question.
Does anyone ever speak about what's happening between the two parties there?
Which two parties?
The McKenna and United, as in
I mean that story, which actually isn't mine, it's Ed Aaron's, but it's I know exactly where the sources have come from. Of course. I mean, there's how can I say this? I did one a couple of days ago saying that they would decide after the FA Cup final it's 50-50, and again, you talk to people, and the thing is, I'm not completely sure other organisers, but our place, the rule is, and even though it's not a rule, it's what I would do. You should really have at least two different people who are not sort of, entities that aren't connected, sort of basically saying the same thing. Because the thing is, right, I could do a story which is genuinely true from two sources, and it can be untrue 5 minutes later. It doesn't mean to say I made it up or it wasn't true in the first place. It can change, and that's the thing with football. It's actually one of the reasons, maybe I've said this before, why this is not the only reason. One of the reasons why managers don't like to speak about transfers is they can be made to look like mugs for the same reason. Obviously there's commercial sensitivities and they don't want to give away, but one of the reasons why they don't want to say we're going to sign this guy is because it can change overnight, and it's not anyone lying or
and also the player can go, well, I don't want to fucking sign for
exactly.
you.
That's what I said. There's so many moving parts. I mean, so if it's difficult for a club to do that, to report on it, it's even more dicey because you're not a club, you're not party to all that information.
Well, there's the handful of transfers that I know of where things have been said, agreed, done, and then not.
Exactly.
Look at was it Moreno? Dyed his hair red.
And that was the sign.
Yeah, so I know Herrera's agent, and I was chatting to Herrera's agent, and while I was with him, Herrera rang him about just nothing, and Herrera was with Moreno at the time, and he was like, "Is it Moreno? No, it's not Moreno. Who am I thinking of? The striker.
Who went where though?
Morata,
right?
Morata. The Moreno, who did sign for Liverpool though, when he first came to England, he was looking at signing for United.
Yeah.
Which I know. Yeah, because I was playing snooker with him.
It's all coming out now, isn't it?
Me? But snooker?
Yeah, Morata was he told Herrera, because he was together, I think they might be on Spanish duty, they was together, and he was like, I'm signing for United. So Herrera told his agent, I'm with his agent.
Yeah.
I went live on Full-Time Devils 20 minutes later and said, we expect it. Nay, but 6 hours later, United signed Lukaku.
Yeah, but it can happen though.
Got rinsed.
Think of what would happen if it actually went the way you were going.
But it's the thing, like you don't make things up. You get told stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Like Fabregas. Yeah. Fabregas to United in the summer of 13 was as on as any transfer has ever been. Player thought he was coming, Barcelona thought he was coming, United thought he was coming, and then no one did the paperwork.
Yeah. And this is why I personally, forget about YouTube, I personally have a hero for being brave enough to go out there and say, Gary Bales could be the next United number 9 or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? That's what
Are you excited for the final game of the season?
Does Steve do excitement? You know what I mean? Is it too long in the tooth?
I've got to speak about the final game.
I was excited for 99 coming out.
True.
Do you think?
No, we don't.
We do.
No, we fucking don't. We absolutely don't. This is the Brew.
I can't even ask him about Brighton. I'm fucking told off to go our next home game.
No one cares.
What's going on in your phone? You got like a Just Eat.
I'm waiting. Like my car's in the garage, and I know they're going to ring me while I'm on air.
What,
and I need to get it. They're not open tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to.
Oh, great!
I've got to organise.
I can't ask about Brighton, but you're looking to see if you.
Don't even worry about
that. Are you doing?
I'm doing City. City v West Ham.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Because we might win 4 in a row.
He's sad about that.
I've been to see Pep this afternoon. He was in very relaxed mode for Pep.
What do you reckon the odds are of this? We were just talking about this upstairs.
Yeah.
When he leaves City, it will be out of nowhere, I believe, because that's the kind of cat that he is, I think.
Right, yeah.
What's the odds on him, would you say? That when they win the league tomorrow, they do this 4-peat tomorrow, whatever happens next Sunday happens, and then Pep goes, anyway, peace, I'm out of here, before the charges land.
I don't know whether he'd do that. I'd be surprised. After the Champions League win last, whatever it was, June, I did a story. I was told that he'll definitely, this is definitely going to be his last contract, but cause that's what his friends think. But so that's only got another year. So actually, one question to ask him is, because well, I don't understand why he doesn't do what Ferguson did. Do you remember Ferguson had a rolling contract? Do you remember that? So no one, because the thing is, what happens if you don't? People like me will say to Pep, well, you've only got a year left, you're going to extend it, right? So that's kind of a question now, because he's only got a year left. I think
most managers don't get the option of having a rolling, do they? I mean, Fergie
exactly, he could name his
quite unique like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. His mates are there, Bergerstein especially.
Still lives in a fucking flat though. He's not put roots down here. Why aren't the journalists covering that the way they did with Jose being in the hotel?
Well, I'll give you some more reason, because Pep's winning all the time, Jose wasn't, so that's kind of how it works, isn't it? You know what I mean? You look for reasons or whatever.
Right, so when the wheels come off next season,
it's like dressing room stories, right? Dressing room stories. Players are unhappy with manager X, let's say Ten Hag. You only get those when there's bad results, right? Because you look for reasons why, and of course what happens then is player A, who isn't in the team and probably never ever going to be in the team, suddenly their grievance becomes interesting, right? Whereas if they're winning, no one cares, right?
Yeah, and there's various disreputable online blogs that are now writing things like, there's unrest with different players in the squad or this, that and the other, which it can be literally one of the 18-year-olds that's just made his debut, and it still counts as one of the people in the squad, doesn't it?
In a nutshell, yeah.
Do you get wound up about that?
Yeah. I also get wound up about fucking helmets like Jason McAteer that just chatting shit. Like, McAteer reckons he saw some random player in Fingin and throw a load of names at him, and he said when he said Gareth Southgate, his eyes got big.
I would love to know who that actually, or is it just all fabricated, or is there some sort of?
I wonder, because like for starters, let's say it's Casemiro, doesn't speak English, right? So Jason McAteer clocks him. Casemiro has no idea who McAteer is, I guarantee, right? So for starters, McAteer is riddled with scouse, so it is hard to understand for the average person, let alone a non-English speaker. And he just starts hitting him with names, and then he says Southgate, and he go, I recognise that name, or I recognise that word, and maybe his eyes got big like that, and then he's out on telly going, the lads know.
He didn't actually say that the eyes went big.
I'll send it. It's horrendous.
That's what he said. He actually said the eyes went big.
Yeah, it's a very. He sort of alluded to the fact.
It's one of them. You go. You're saying this out loud. What are you doing?
Unknown sort of figure.
Basically, put it out there like United players either know it's Southgate coming or want Southgate coming because someone went once. Do you believe,
on the other end of the spectrum, do you believe Rooney's story? You spoke about that, talking about some players may not be recovering as quick as they possibly could be. That is a former player speaking to players currently in the squad. Some players aren't recovering or even getting back to being part of the team as quick as they could.
Well, what is that based on? Is that based on player A saying, I don't think player B's getting back to fitness quick enough? Or is he talking to player A and he's going, I can't be arsed getting back to fitness quick enough? Because that's two different things.
That is two different things, isn't it?
And I wouldn't accuse someone. I don't think it's fair to accuse a player of malingering.
Yeah. It was like sort of speculation, wasn't it? That was what's sort of happening.
The problem is when Wayne Rooney says it's the truth. Isn't it?
Yeah, because he's not. What's he got to lose, Rooney?
He's at Carrington more than them fucking players are. Because like half his fucking kids are there, aren't they? Smashing it, by the way.
Yeah.
You see the state of Kai?
Yeah, he's a good finisher.
Left footer and all.
Crazy, wasn't
that might be what he's basing it on. They might be in there, sort of seeing, hearing stuff. I mean, he'll be well connected. I'd like to think
you'd hope so, wouldn't you? What's your source, Wayne Rooney?
You'd think that. I'd like to think that he's not making it up. I don't think he's making it up, is it?
No, I don't think he'd be making it up. But then that's why I said it.
Yeah,
so
sure,
who's told him? Is it player A saying?
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm not ready. I'm just gonna leave it. Or is it player A going? I think he's fucking.
Or is it one of the coaches? He's got one of his kids saying, "Oh, I can't believe player X." He's never, But it might be that sort of thing. You just don't know.
What do you think he'll do tonight with some of the players returning back from injury? Do you think you'll give them a little bit of time on the pitch against Brighton? Do you think he'll just hold them back? I think he has to.
I don't think you could just throw Martinez back in against City.
Get injured against Brighton.
Yeah, but I think you have to risk him because you can't just start him against City because you can't go up against City rusty. And you're not going to be unrusty.
But actually, Luke Shaw is fit for the cup final one before. Do you start him?
I think you have to. I don't start. I wouldn't want to start anyone in the cup final if they haven't been able to start this weekend.
Yeah.
I know it's a week difference, and that can make a lot in terms of
Luke Shaw's experience and pretty decent footballer, so it could make a massive difference, right? It's got to be better than, who is it, Dallo? Wan-Bissaka playing at left back, right? I don't know.
Yeah, probably Dallo.
One of your best players comes back on the day.
Yeah, come on. You've had experience of this, surely.
What is your best player, though?
Well, let's say he's the best left back you've got personally.
I think Dalot and Wan-Bissaka are both match fit. Wan-Bissaka in the defensive line can switch off at times. 1v1 is excellent, so you go, right, who's he playing up against? Is it someone that's going to try and stand him? Is it like Doku? If we're going up against Doku, Wan-Bissaka starts, but Pep's not going to tell you his team, so then you've got to gamble. I can make a case for Luke Shaw. What Ten Hag needs, basically, right, you lose games on your weaknesses. You don't win games on your talent. You lose games on your weaknesses. So you go, right, okay, what are we going to lose this game on? Is it, people talk about Casemiro not getting out there, but you got to watch Wan-Bissaka at times. He's 10 yards behind everyone. Are we going to lose it by playing out not effectively? So you say, right, okay, if we lose the ball in these areas, we turn it over to City, they're going to score from there. You go, right, okay, well, if we played Martinez and Shaw, Dalot, Evans, are we better? Absolutely better. Okay. Well, how fit are they?
Yeah.
They're surely going to play a game Tuesday or Wednesday.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that.
They probably will.
Yeah.
So we'll know in that.
Yeah.
Okay, they're fit. Sweet. Okay. What's your midfield? I think it has to be Amrabat, Mainu, Bruno. Mm-hmm. You leave a little bit of madness with McTominay for firepower to sort of crash the box late on.
Rashford to start.
I think
he will.
I think he has to start Sunday.
I think he will. I put him in the team for the Guardian today.
So
when I said it
the reason behind this, and almost everybody online has disagreed with me so far, but the reason why I say you start Rashford Sunday, Rashford has got more chance to win you the game against City. He's got form for it. He's in big games. He generally delivers. That doesn't take away from the fact he's been shit this year, because he's been shit. But if you give Garnacho the weekend off, or start him on the bench against Brighton, because he needs a break. He's been running to the ground. It's a double-edged sword. He gets the break he needs, and Rashford gets the opportunity. Now, if Rashford smashes it against Brighton, who are about tactically as close as what you're going to play against City in terms of how they're going to match up. If he's really, really effective with that midfield on the counter, then you go, okay, I can justify my decision in starting him for the final. If Rashford's shit, Garnacho starts and you haven't lost anything.
But also as well, with Garnacho, you could keep Garnacho on the bench, and you got to remember last year he was electric when he came off the bench. You know, he didn't get it, but he scared Pep to the point where, you know, I think he fell on his knees in the final moments of the game. We've got a better Garnacho now. So if he comes off the bench with 45 minutes to go and it's as tight as the 2-1 it was last year, you know, you just don't know. I mean,
I actually give United quite a good chance, because it's a one-off game, and we're talking here, there's some good players in that team. It's just whether they could just shut up shop at the back, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just that you know. It's
going to be a crazy game, isn't it?
I think if it's a midfield of like fucking McTominay, Casemiro, and it's or Casemiro in defence,
You going to it? Yeah.
No, and like I got a ticket, but I'm not going, and I think it's the only cup final that we've ever had that I've had a ticket for.
Not fancy it?
Nah, I'm a bit burnt out myself. Yeah. I had a lot of football in my life.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I also got a 270 quid fine last time I went to London on the ULEZ.
Did you?
Yeah, bastards.
What? Because you didn't like sign up or something?
I didn't know. I thought I only worked on a Monday to Friday.
I haven't got a clue. Right,
See, didn't know.
Right. Great.
So yeah, got a big old fucking fine, and I just thought I got a lot going on. Like, I got a busy fucking summer, Euros, tour. I'm going to Normandy for 80th anniversary of D-Day. I'm barely here, so it's the only weekend like without fucking having to travel up and down the bastard country that I've got. So I'm going to spend it with the family.
Chill out.
I'm watching it at home, like.
Yeah, 100%.
Not going to not watch it, but yeah, I had a ticket, but I'm not going.
Europa Conference, would you want to get into that?
No.
Why?
Are you fucking mad, Joe?
Sorry, I've just been asked to ask you that. Last one. Please try and squeeze in if Stephen Howson would like to play in the Europa Conference next year.
Is that Ethan? Yeah, we're going to bring forward your review.
No.
He should ace the review, because he's had the courage to get him to ask that.
But what's the people saying that matter?
Off topic, Ethan. Who's going to win in the fight tomorrow, Usyk or Fury?
Oh, good question.
I hope Usyk.
You hope, yeah. You think it'd be?
I know what you mean. He's not done it. Well, maybe it's his dad, but they've not done themselves much favours, have they, popularity-wise?
Political bastards.
What's your favourite chocolate bar?
Twix, probably.
Twix?
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's got to be a Fry's mint cream. You know that? Oh, yeah, come on.
What?
Oh, tell the fucking Guardians in the house, can't you? Fucking hell.
What's going to be the Tony's Chocolado or something like that then?
My God.
Fry's mint cream. Don't knock it till you've not tried it.
I go with a Boost.
You can't mess with Boost. It's got a lot going on.
Yeah. Right, we're going to leave that there. Thank you very much.
Some more questions.
Right, someone ran in one last random question to this, Jack. Go on, read that.
What people am I saying?
There's just lots of emojis, and I've got better eyesight. Can't really keep up with the flying thing, Jim. Struggle a little bit.
What are people saying? Amrabat's been dog shit all season. Yeah, but he's been good in the last 2 games. So, which Casemiro will we get for the FA Cup final? Hopefully, the substitute one. Casemiro speaks very good English. Didn't when I fucking spoke to him, but that might have just been me.
On that bombshell.
Do you want to wrap it up? Say goodbye.
Yeah, see you Sunday and that.
Bye. Are you here Sunday? Yeah.
No.
Are you fucked? Jamie, thank you very much.
Good luck, United.
Where did you get that book from, by the way? The Ollie book.
Any good bookshops, Waterstones, Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Although to be fair, it's always sold out because it's so popular. So
get on it quick then. It's like hotcakes.
Screenplay, Jamie.
It's a screenplay.
We'll make millions.
Did the garage call you?
No.
Oh, we survived. Thank you very much for watching.
Means I got a car tomorrow, though, Joe. It's a problem.
Oh shit! I'll give you a lift. Give you back in my bike. I've been Joe. See you later. Bye.